This is part 31 and the long-awaited first test of my YZ250 E-Start kit. In my last video, I mentioned some other design concepts I'm thinking about, and in this video, the parts got here and I was able to assemble everything and give it the first ever try. So once again, PCBWay hooked me up with some great parts. The packaging was flawless, it landed right on my doorstep, and I was ready to go. So I opened everything up and got a little inventory of everything that I had, and then I brought it to the workshop and I started putting it all together. Now the parts turned out exactly how I wanted them, which is my fault because I forgot a few things. For one, I forgot I needed to have this circle piece be threaded so it can thread onto the motor, which I can fix myself. I'll just have to go get it tapped this weekend. And same thing for the holes. I would like all these bolts to be flush, so I just need to tap some holes for them. Now, hindsight's 2020. I should have ordered these with the holes threaded, but that's on me. Other than that though, the parts turned out perfect. But since I forgot to add the threads like I planned to, I'm just going to use my old arm that I had for one of my other tests a while back because that one has threads on it and I know it works with the motor right. I also need to shave a ramp into the side of this new disc, and that's what'll let it have that reciprocation mechanism that I want. But like I said, I'll save that for this weekend. One of the parts that I got was actually this piece that sits over the kickstart knuckle. This part ended up working really well, and I just had to make a little UHMW spacer to sit in between that. But with all that figured out, it was time to go outside and throw everything on the bike. Once I got outside, I started putting all the parts onto the bike. So I started with mounting the motor bracket, and then after that, I moved down to adding on the kickstart adapter. Once I got those on, I made sure my cable was routed, kind of all right, and I was ready for my first test. Now keep in mind, for this first test, my spark plug was out, so there was no real compression. One, I'm sorry for the chainsaw noise, they were doing some tree trimming behind me. But two, you'll notice I'm being extremely cautious. And this is because in my past experience, whenever I do this, something explodes. So I took it really slow, so I'll speed it up for you guys. It's in gear. Oh my god, it's in gear. When this thing finally kicked over, it was such a relief. I'm so glad it actually was able to do this. After that, I got pretty excited and I thought to myself, I wonder if I can do it with the spark plug in. So I threw the spark plug back in, set everything up a little bit differently, and I was ready for another go. That's a full kick. This was huge. What a relief to have it finally actually move the motor with the plug in. But then the worst thing I could possibly imagine happened. As I was taking everything off to go back inside and I was unscrewing some of the bolts, for some reason the left bolt got lodged inside there and it snapped off inside. This immediately sucked all the joy out of the moment because now I'm stuck with this problem. I'm probably not the only person this has ever happened to, so if you guys know how to get these things out well, please let me know. So tomorrow, my focus is going to be on getting that bolt out of there and also fixing up the rest of the parts so I can get a real attempt with the parts that I ordered and see how those work.